Breathe with me. Inhale slowly, and as the air fills your chest, let these words reach the place in you that has been waiting. Right now, God is speaking to you, not from far away, but close and deliberate. You can feel it like a soft promise forming in your mind. Provision is on its way. Notice the weight you've been carrying, overdue bills, dreams you put on hold, the sleeplessness that knows your name. Picture that weight as a bundle in your hands. Now imagine a door opening, a wide, steady door of provision. A tide moves through your life, gentle but unstoppable, touching your plans, your peace, your relationships, and especially your finances. You are not being handed a fleeting lift. This is a renewing work, a seed planted in faith that will grow into a harvest. Think of a farmer who trusts the rhythm of seasons. He plants when the ground is dark and waits without panic. God has already planted your seed. All that is asked of you is trust, quiet, steady trust, and the boldness to act as if the answer is already unfolding. Let fear loosen. Let doubt fall away like dry leaves. Move forward with the calm certainty that what is promised is coming to pass. Receive this word with an open heart. Let it steady your steps and clear the clutter of worry. Feel hope rise slowly, like sunlight pushing across a field. This moment marks a turning, subtle at first, then unmistakable. Abundance, victory, and exaltation begin their work in the quiet places of your life. Are you curious how to take the next practical step into this promise? Pause, and in the comments, name the one fear you'd like God to remove. Share a single word that says, "I'm ready." Then stay with me. Tap to the next video, and together we will unfold what faith looks like in action. Breathe again. Let the air fill your ribs slowly, as if each inhale is a quiet benediction and each exhale releases a weight you've carried for too long. You are not misheard. God is speaking to you in this very moment, and the words are not vague promises but specific, warming assurance that provision is on its way. Picture a door you thought was nailed shut swinging open with a gentle, inexorable force. Feel the light that pours through, touching the corners of your life, the unpaid bills, the delayed plans, the tender places in your heart where doubt once lived. You have planted seeds, perhaps with trembling hands and insufficient faith, and now those seeds are stirring beneath the soil. Like a patient farmer who knows the rhythm of seasons, God is tending your field. He waters what you feared was barren and calls you to trust the pace of growth, not to hurry the harvest, but to steward the ground He has given. Your finances are not isolated. They are woven into the fabric of your rest, your relationships, your purpose. As this truth settles, the tension in your chest softens. You see opportunities you overlooked, creative doors you thought closed, people placed around you to open channels of provision. This shift is not a fleeting wind. It is a redeeming work that rewrites the story you've been telling yourself. Receive it slowly. Respond boldly. So the practical seed God is nudging you to plant. A conversation, a step of courage, a faithful offering, a budget reoriented by faith. Let fear drop like autumn leaves. Let doubt be compost for new growth. Expect nourishment in ways that make sense and ways that surprise you. Curious to know what your next faithful step might look like? Share one truth that landed in your heart from this word. Leave a reflective comment below about one small action you'll take today. Then move with me to the next video, where we'll uncover practical steps that align your choices with this promise. Feel this slowly. Your chest rises, you inhale, and for a moment you are only breath and expectation. God is speaking into the ordinary corners of your life. The kitchen table where bills sit, the quiet hallway where dreams whisper, the phone that rings with opportunities and obligations. He is not offering a quick fix. He is opening a steady stream, a deepening provision that steadies your steps and reshapes your tomorrow. Picture a door swinging open, wide enough for relief, for reconciliation, for resources you dared not name. Imagine a gentle current moving through your finances, your relationships, your rest. It is both intimate and expansive, a divine choreography aligning work, wisdom, and favor. You are being invited to respond with trust, not panic, with bold, humble action, not frantic striving. You have planted in ways you may not even remember. A kind word, a disciplined hour, a prayer in the middle of the night, these were seeds. Now the harvest leans toward you. All God asks is that you step forward as if the answer is already visible. Pay the attention that faith requires. Make the call you've postponed. Say yes to the small obedience that opens larger doors. Let fear fall away like last season's coat. Let doubt dissolve like mist at sunrise. This is not a temporary lift, but a slow, redeeming work that rewrites your story, materially, emotionally, spiritually. Feel your hope steady. Notice how your shoulders drop, how your mind clears. This is a moment of transformation, patient and powerful. If these words stirred something within you, lean into that stir. Curiosity can be a holy invitation. What might God be asking you to do next? Pause and reflect, then share. Comment below with one faithful step you will take this week. Your honesty could encourage someone else to believe. Curious about the first practical move to take? In the next video, we'll walk through a simple, faithful action to begin aligning your life with this promise. Breathe with me. Inhale slowly. Let the air settle into your chest. Feel the steady of your heart. You are not standing at the edge of hope. You are standing inside a promise. God is not whispering from a far corner. He is speaking into the room where your bills lie, where your postponed dreams rest, where sleepless nights have become familiar. Imagine a door, heavy and ornate, opening wide. Light pours through. Provision walks across your threshold like a friend who has come to stay. You have planted, perhaps in small, faithful ways, seeds no one else noticed. A prayer offered in the quiet, a risk taken for your family, a kindness extended in times of lack. The earth has received those seeds. Now feel the slow, patient stirring beneath the surface. Roots reach, a green shoot's insistence rises. This is not haste. It is the sacred timing of a harvest that has already been set in motion. Let doubt loosen its grip. Let fear fold like old papers you no longer need. Act as if the answer is already visible. Make the call you've been postponing. Open the email you've been avoiding. Say yes to the opportunity that trembles your certainty. Boldness is not reckless. It is trust moving its legs. As you move, the provision moves with you. Relationships mend under the warmth of your calm. Peace fills the spaces where worry once lived. Money is not the only thing restored. Your sense of worth, your capacity to give, your calling, they are all rewritten. This is a redeeming work. It takes what was broken and composes it into song. Receive it with an anchored faith, not a fluttering hope. Let this day be the hinge on which your story swings toward abundance, victory, and exaltation. Curious, what is the one dream you have delayed that would change everything if provision arrived today? Leave a reflective comment below and tell us the smallest brave step you will take. In the next video, you'll see a simple sign God often uses to confirm His timing. Watch for it. You are standing at the edge of a quiet turning. Feel it in the slow, steady beat of your chest. God is not rushing you. He is preparing the ground. Picture your life as a field that has been watered in secret. Seeds of opportunity, connection, and favor have already been placed beneath the soil of your circumstances. You have tended them with prayer, with careful spending, with small acts of faith. Now the season of visible growth is approaching. Breathe in. Let the promise settle into you like soft rain. The anxiety that has knotted your nights about money and the long list of postponed dreams need not be the final chapter. God is shifting the currents. Provision will not necessarily arrive as a loud trumpet. Sometimes it comes as a steady stream. A client who says yes, a door that opens, a timely idea that you had been ignoring. Receive these things as the gentle, powerful unfolding of divine timing. Trust and boldness walk together here. Trust removes the heavy doubt. Boldness moves your feet. Do one small, brave thing today that honors what God has already started. A phone call, a prayer of clear surrender, a disciplined budget change, a step toward a dream you've been shelving. Each action is like planting again, and each small seed multiplies in ways you cannot fully foresee. Let your heart be steady. This is not merely about finances. It is a restoration of dignity, peace, and purpose. When the miracle of provision comes, it will not leave you unchanged. It will reveal who you are becoming. A person who receives and then gives, who trusts and then steps forward, who rests in God while working with intention. What would you do if you truly believed abundance was already on its way? Pause and let that question sit. Then share, in the comments, one courageous step you will take this week in faith. Stay with me. The next video will bring the next strand of this promise, gently unraveling how to steward what is coming. Block 6 of 9. Breathe again, slowly. Let that inhale be a quiet agreement with what has already been spoken over you. You are standing at the edge of a new season, and the ground beneath your feet is changing, softening, richening, ready to receive the seed you have carried so long. Feel the shift. It is subtle, holy, real. God is not rearranging your life from a distance. He is kneeling in the soil with you. You have carried the weight of unpaid bills, postponed dreams, and nights where hope felt thin. Those burdens are not ignored. They are cataloged in the care of the one who sees. Now imagine hands opening, not to take from you, but to plant into you. A supply that does not sputter, a favor that aligns doors you did not know existed. This is provision that restores dignity, repairs relationships, and reshapes your schedule so you can breathe again. Act as if the harvest is already visible. Make the call, write the application, forgive the debt that keeps you bound to yesterday. These are not mere tasks. They are acts of faith that answer the promise before you even feel the fruit. Trust is not passive here. It is sacred momentum. When fear rises, speak your yes to God. When doubt whispers, remember the seed you planted and the God who waters. This is a slow miracle. It does not rush you. It steadies you. Each small, obedient step is a drumbeat calling in abundance. You are being invited into a steady, redeeming work that rewrites how money moves in your life, softening scarcity into stewardship, anxiety into expectation, lack into overflow. Curiosity moves the heart. What part of your financial story are you ready to hand to God? Comment below with one honest line. The fear you want released, or the step you will take this week. Share it, not for perfection, but for promise. In the next video, we will uncover the simple action that opens the door wider. Stay close. Your harvest is nearer than it appears. You feel it even before the words finish forming, a quiet settling in your chest, like the hush just before dawn. Breathe. Let each inhale draw in the promise. Each exhale release the weight you've carried, the unpaid bills, the dreams you shelved for someday, the nights you counted expenses instead of sheep. God is not speaking from a distance. He leans close, speaking with unmistakable clarity that provision is not coming. It is arriving. Picture a door ahead of you, framed in light. It opens slowly, not with a clatter, but with the soft certainty of something ordained. Beyond it runs a river of provision, not a trickle that teases, but a steady flow that nourishes every parched place in your life. As this river moves through your plans, it washes away fear, smooths over worry, and leaves behind fertile ground. The seed you planted, small, almost invisible, has roots that have been growing quietly under the surface. What you see as lack is simply the hidden work of growth. You are invited to respond with simple faith and bold action. Act as if the answer is already visible. Speak words of thanks. Make the first call. Open the envelope you have avoided. Step toward the opportunity you've labeled too risky. Faith and action walk together. One without the other is like a lamp without oil. When you move and trust, you align yourself with the hand that orchestrates blessing. This is not a fleeting lift. This is a redeeming, renovating movement that rewrites your story, materially and deeply. Your relationships, your peace, your purpose, all of it begins to shift as provision breathes life into them. Hold this moment gently. Let hope swell. Let expectation settle into steady resolve. Curious, what door do you imagine when you think of God's provision for you? Share a brief, reflective comment about one small step you can take today that would honor this promise. Then, watch the next video to receive practical, faith-filled steps to walk through that open door. You breathe. Slow. In. Out. Let the hush of this moment settle into your chest. You are standing on the edge of a promise, one that feels both near and mysterious. God is already at work behind the scenes, arranging doors you cannot yet see. He is patient. He is precise. He is aligning resources, people, and opportunities to meet the real needs that have kept you awake at night. You have carried worry like a companion for too long. Bills, postponed plans, the quiet ache of not yet. Yet somewhere beneath all that noise, a seed planted in faith is growing. It does not rush. It does not force itself. It strengthens silently, sending roots into unseen soil. Your role is simple. Trust, act steadily, and keep your hands open to receive. Today, do one thing that declares your belief. Send that message you've been delaying. Turn the key on the next step. Give back a portion, however small, trusting it will return tenfold, not by luck, but by covenant. Every modest act of obedience is a signal to heaven that you are ready. When your feet move, grace follows. When your heart responds, provision moves with it. Notice the subtle shifts. A call answered. An idea landing in the perfect room. A favor returned just when you need it. These are not coincidences. They are gentle confirmations that the tide is changing. You are not being lifted into temporary relief. You are being invited into a new season of stewardship and abundance that will refine you and redeem your past. Curiosity stirs. What door is about to open for you? Think of one small step you can take today that shows you believe the answer is already on its way. Share it below. Write a short comment about what you felt in this moment. Your words may encourage someone else to respond in faith. In the next video, you will receive a specific promise to speak aloud. Words that will begin to rewrite the financial story you carry. Don't miss it. Breathe in. Let each word settle like a seed in the soil of your spirit. You have carried weight, bills, unfinished plans, a quiet anxiety that wakes you at night. God is not distant from those things. Right now, He is bending toward your life with a promise. Provision is coming, not as a distant idea, but as a tangible, living change. Picture a door, heavy at first, then slowly swinging wide. A warm wind moves through your rooms. Old fears loosen their grip. Your finances begin to rearrange not by chance, but by a divine pattern of planting and harvest. You were never meant to survive by worry. You were made to receive, to steward, to walk forward with faith as your companion. This is an invitation to respond, not because God needs your permission, but because your faith engages the flow. Move as if the answer is already visible. Make one intentional step today, no dramatic plan required, just a small act that says, I trust. Perhaps it is a conversation you delay, a decision you have been avoiding, a gift you give despite scarcity. Each act becomes a harvest in motion. Let hope steady your steps. Let peace order your choices. This is not only about collections in a bank. It is about the richness that steadies your heart, renews your relationships, and frees you to live with purpose. Receive this word with both hands. Allow it to change how you walk through your day, the questions you ask, the risks you take. If you feel a stirring curiosity that wonders what God will do next, lean into it. Share one honest line in the comments. What word from today touched you most, or what step are you willing to take? Your response could be the very echo that solidifies your faith. When you are ready, press into the next message. The next video will open another door, give a clearer next step, and deepen what started here. Come, let us watch this unfolding together.
It is how you prevent fear from regaining authority. God also instructs you to guard your inner dialogue. Pay attention to how you speak to yourself when things are unclear. If you return to narratives of lack, urgency, or comparison, you quietly step out of alignment. Not because God leaves, but because attention shifts. Alignment is maintained by what you allow to guide your interpretation of events. In the next days, God may allow situations that look neutral but feel uncomfortable. Not to test you, but to stabilize you. Comfort does not build capacity, clarity does. When you feel the urge to retreat, remind yourself that retreat is no longer your shelter. God has already moved you out of that position. God says you do not need to search for signs. They will come naturally. Small confirmations, subtle openings, internal certainty. None of them will demand urgency. If something requires panic, it is not direction. God's guidance carries peace even when it stretches you. God also asks you not to isolate your faith. You do not need to explain what you are sensing, but you should not suppress it either. Carry it quietly, confidently. Prosperity begins invisibly, and it grows best when not exposed prematurely. Most importantly, God says do not measure progress by speed. Measure it by stability. If you are less anxious, more clear, more grounded, something is already working. This is how sustainable change begins. Not with visible abundance, but with internal order. God is not asking you to wait passively. He is asking you to walk attentively, to stay responsive without becoming reactive, to remain open without becoming desperate. This balance is the posture that allows provision to arrive without destabilizing your life. And now God prepares to close this message, not by building excitement, but by sealing peace. Because the final confirmation is not something you must chase. It is something you are already standing in. That is what God will leave you with now. Now God closes this message the way He began it, not with pressure, but with assurance. God wants you to understand that nothing you have heard requires you to rush, prove, or force anything to happen. What has been set in motion does not need your anxiety to continue. It needs your steadiness. God says this word was not given to excite you for a moment. It was given to reposition you for a season. If excitement fades, do not assume the message failed. Excitement belongs to emotion. Alignment belongs to truth. And truth continues working long after emotion settles. God asks you to carry this understanding quietly. You do not need to announce it. You do not need to defend it. You do not need to measure it daily. What is forming will reveal itself in the right order. Seeds do not grow faster because they are checked constantly. They grow because the soil remains undisturbed. God reminds you that peace is not the absence of responsibility. It is the absence of fear leading your decisions. When fear steps aside, clarity takes its place. And when clarity leads, provision follows in ways that do not exhaust you. God is not preparing you for another cycle of strain. He is preparing you for sustainability. In the days ahead, if you notice your thoughts trying to return to urgency, remember this moment. Remember that God spoke before anything visible changed. That alone tells you something important. Your life is not being led by circumstances anymore. It is being guided by alignment. God says you are not behind. You are not late. You are not catching up. You are positioned. Positioned to recognize what fits. Positioned to refuse what drains. Positioned to receive without fear and manage without pressure. Let this message settle instead of fading. If it resonated with you, do not rush past it. Sometimes remaining is the deepest act of trust. Stay with what God has spoken, because He often confirms direction in layers, not all at once. And if you feel prompted to stay here a little longer, to listen again, or to remain until the end, do not resist that nudge. God does not interrupt for no reason. He confirms when the heart is ready to receive. Now continue in peace. Continue in attention. Continue without forcing tomorrow into today. God is already ahead of you, arranging what you cannot see yet. Nothing here was random. Nothing was late. And nothing is unfinished.